This episode of the Marketing That Works podcast is brought to you by Anchor. If you haven't heard of Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast, period. Let me explain. It's what I make this podcast on. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm today to get started. I'm Drew Bedard, and this is Marketing That Works, a podcast about the tools, tips, and tactics that business owners and marketers need to wow their customers and grow their profits. Hey everybody, back with another Marketing That Works podcast. Hope you're doing well. It's Drew Bedard back again. Sorry for the kind of sporadic podcast over the last couple of weeks. It's been a little crazy, but I'm excited to be back, and hopefully you'll get a lot of value out of today's message. If you would send or text this podcast to one person today, it would mean the world to me, and hopefully it will benefit their business and make them better marketers. So the topic I wanted to cover today on today's podcast was the 3 simple steps to marketing your business better. The 3 simple steps, and they're part of your communications. And here are the 3 things that if you focused on today could make everything in your marketing and probably with your business going to go in a positive direction. And they are a good headline, a good offer, and a deadline. And I want to reinforce this throughout today's message. But if you have those 3 things, I mean, marketing doesn't have to be that complicated. Marketing can be very simple. Storytelling. Make a good offer. Make it compelling. Make it irresistible. You know, we talk about these things on this podcast all the time, but let's boil it down to 3 very, very simple things. A high-impact headline, a great offer, and a deadline. Okay? And let's break down each one of those. So a great headline. A great headline, I've read a ton of different marketing books. And when you look back at history, one of the most important things that anybody can do in their marketing is get attention, bring the customer in within just a few seconds. And most of the time, that's going to be a headline or a subject line if we're talking about email marketing. So when we look at that, what makes up a great headline? Well, a great headline starts by looking at the problem. What problem does my customer have, and what are they trying to solve? But really what you're trying to get more than anything else in a headline is attention. You got to get people sucked into the message that you're trying to tell them. Otherwise, again, you have about 3 to 5 seconds these days. If you don't get that, they're going to bail on you and they're gone. And they're probably not going to read the rest of what might be in that communication, again, which might be that offer and that deadline that you have for them. So a headline today, I want you guys to think about the headline. I remember reading something by David Ogilvy one time. David Ogilvy, the famous and legendary marketer from Ogilvy, which that agency is still around today, of course. But talking about that, if you're going to spend time on copywriting, spend 80% of the time working on the headline, because if you don't get people past the headline, they're never going to read any of the rest of your brilliant copy that you might have down on the page. So please work on that today. Figure out how to take more time for your headline, because the headline is going to be the way that you get them to step 2, which is a great offer, an irresistible offer, a compelling offer. And what I mean by that is not just, here's a couple things and here's the price, and in my world it feels pretty good, so I'm not going to worry about it all that much. What you need to be thinking about is this offer irresistible? Is it a great offer to solve the problem of my customer? And if you can get that, you can get just about anywhere in this world. So let's just take an example, like what is a great offer? Well, a great offer usually isn't just product and price. It isn't just here's one thing for another thing. It is usually a value bundle. I think, we can look at all the examples of the telephone companies and the cable internet companies and everything out there. But when you look at it, an offer should feel like a discount. Let's look at Amazon. Let's look at the way they price things. On every single product, you're getting an offer for a discounted price. So you're getting something of higher value for a lower cost. So they've immediately got you sucked in. Don't look too far past all Amazon's brilliance to understand that they were just really smart at page speed, at offer, at discounting something that you could look somewhere else, and of course Walmart was famous for this too, but you look at somewhere else and you see a lower price here, okay, automatically I'm already in. But the offer, can you take what is your core product? Can you add more value to it? So that might be adding additional pieces of value. That might be, if you're selling a course, that might be adding more ebooks in. It might be adding a piece of software in. It could be a lot of different things. But what you want to try to do is take that offer and you want to try to make it as irresistible, as humanly possible. Something that you look at it and you say, I literally cannot turn this down. It is so good. And that is so hard for all of us as marketers and business owners and business runners to do, because all you want to do, you have this precious little product that you think is so valuable and it's so fantastic, and I don't want to give it up for any less. I'm sounding like I'm whining now. I don't want to give it up for any less than what I feel like the value is. Well, guess what? That's just not the way the world of the consumer mind works. You need to offer me your great product plus some extra value for as low as you can possibly get it to me without damaging your brand, of course. But that's where you've got to be today. You've got to look at that core product offering that you have and say, how can I make this offer better so it makes it truly irresistible for the customer? And finally, a deadline. We've talked about this before, but it's worth hitting again. I'm just hitting you with 3 simple points today: a headline, an offer, and a deadline. Scarcity and urgency works. You've got to tell people that they have an offer. It is available now, but it is going away. I'm reading a book also right now on infomercials. So there's really one great book. It's called Wait, There's More, I think is what the title is. But I'm reading parts of that book right now, and I really just wanted to understand a little bit more about the infomercial market. And, what you come to find out is that scarcity and urgency works. So what do you see when you see every infomercial out there? Hey, this incredible, irresistible offer is only available, and what happens there at the end of every infomercial, it is a set of steak knives, and oh wait, there's more. You get a second set of steak knives, or slap chop, or flex glue, tape, whatever flex stuff is being sold these days. But you look at that and you say, okay, they made me a great offer, but what they're telling me is it's only available for the next 20 minutes. It's only available for the next 30 minutes. It's only available for the next week, because then they move on to the next offer. And I think that that's what we have to learn as marketers is, unfortunately, you cannot just have an offer that just stands. It has to have some scarcity and urgency to increase that fear factor in the mind of the consumers to understand, I only have so much time to get this great offer. Because if you're going to take your precious little product and you're going to mark it down, or you're going to add more value to it, well, sure, put a deadline, put some scarcity, put some urgency on it, because you want to get back to business as usual. That's fine. But you're only going to be able to do that if you put that scarcity and urgency on it. So the lesson today, and just send it to somebody maybe who's getting started in marketing or who's getting started running a business, is take your product, make a great headline. First, make a great headline, a great subject line, something to get people sucked in, because they're not going to read your offer if you don't get them bought in right from the beginning. The second part is create that offer and make it as irresistible as humanly possible, something that people cannot walk away from. And then third, make a deadline, make it scarce, make it urgent, make people take action today to get this great offer that you are bringing to them. So that's the message for today on Marketing That Works. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, I'm glad to be back. I'm going to be back on a regular routine of every Thursday now. So Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Please share it with somebody today. Please rate and review us any chance that you might get. I'd greatly appreciate it. So thanks for being here today, and we'll see you next time.